a Rickapooty and a Fandoogly. Just watched Classic Album Reviews channel. I watch it once in a while, but he reads off notes and things. He does it. He's very clever. It sounds like he's actually saying it from memory, but he's not. He's reading everything he says. And he just did this awful review on one of my top 10 albums of all time. Original US with a gatefold, heavy duty cardboard. And Columbia. Whoop. Stereo 360 sound, heavy, reasonably heavy vinyl. It's an original. This is in my top 10 albums of all time. From the minute I heard this, every time I play this, and I do play it at least once a year. Both these albums are from 1968. I'm going to show. I'm going to start showing more of my albums again because I did these years ago, and a lot of those are so long ago that I thought I might as well just redo some of them because I want to relive, the memory of these records. This is not for everyone. You had to be. Okay, both these albums came out in 68. I was 17. Very impressionable age, and this just has knocked my socks off. I don't really care for her other stuff at all. I don't like, I've got Pearl, but I don't like it, to be honest with you. This is just, he obviously has no love for it. You can see I just watched a dreadful review. He got a package of Scorpion albums, a ghastly German Schlager heavy metal band or something, the Scorpions. God, Jesus. And he's waxing lyrical about those. And he's too PC for my liking, I can't stand those cunts. Those people. And he looks like he's got the same face as that Gentle Giant album, which I always hated. I don't like prog rock. I love Van der Graaf Generator and I love King Crimson, but they get shoved in with this prog rock shit. Fuck prog rock up as a stinky bottom. All right, just say no to yes. That's all I say. Anyway, you like what you like. Everyone likes what they like. I like this. I fucking love this. Every time I hear it, I feel energized, invigorated. My God, how old is this album? 52, 54 years ago, and it still knocks my socks off. One of the greatest album covers of all time. Every track a gem. He didn't even mention that, he talks about all this shit about Robert Crumb and as if he was there and knew it. Combination of the two, I Need a Man to Love, Summertime, Piece of My Heart, Side 2, Total Blues, A Sweet Mary, Ball and Chain. Now, in my opinion, and of course he's just probably never heard the album, but he's just reading off something where he says, the musicians were just amateurs. Yes, they were, but they're enthusiastic amateurs. Christ, there's a big difference. And this is, okay, they might not be the best musos, but by God, they put every atom in their body into the soul of this record. This is, written off as blues psychedelic. Well, yes, it's bluesy because Janis Joplin sings some blues on this. But she's doing, an almost soul thing on this. The closest she ever got to doing soul is on this. Not that dreadful screeching shit like on, Pearl and like the other albums just are awful. This is it. This is the one. And I never, ever, ever get tired of it. And it's just brilliant. It really is 1968. Yes, it's Charles Manson. It's all that stuff. Richard Nixon or whoever was the president. It's all that shit. It's a heavy vibe, mate. You had to be there, if you know what I mean. I wasn't there. I wasn't in the USA. I was in the United States of Australia. But we were like big brothers what do you call it? Big Brother is the USA. Australia's like the little brother going, please, can I come too? Can I come to Vietnam and die? Please, please, please. Anyway, um, yeah, so Cheap Thrills, yeah. You can't convince someone what's great, you know. This is something I really believe you had to have heard this in '68 as an impressionable 17-year-old, where everything was still a mystery. You know, you didn't even know what the bands looked like, especially down here at the bottom of the world. It was all so exciting, and this one never ever fails to excite ever. So, and this one is a different kettle of fish altogether. This is one of the worst albums of all time. It is absolutely ghastly. I actually found it fairly unlistenable at the time, but it has its place in history in that, in my opinion, this is the very, very first grunge album. It is, this is a wonderful, beautiful Karma reissue on super heavyweight vinyl from about 20 years ago or something. Vincebus eruptum. Yeah, it's ham-fisted. It's slovenly. It's inept. It's grotesque. It's, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's not something I would sit down and listen to on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've played this for 20 years. But I can't bear to part with it. This is reissue. It's got that wonderful textured cover. It's just a beautiful cover. The Australian copy of this was nothing like this. My friend David Rich, rest in peace, he was a drummer in many bands. He had this album. I used to go over and listen to it with him. It didn't have all this fancy business, you know, at all. But this is a beautiful reissue by out of Italy, Karma Records, made in Italy. Possibly bootleg, but high quality. But anyway, yeah, what can I say? Summertime Blues again, right? Which was on this one? Or was that the different Summertime? Oh, too late. Doesn't matter. No, Summertime. Sorry, Summertime and the living is easy was on that. Summertime Blues, the Eddie Cochran song was on this. Rock Me Baby, Doctor Please, Out of Focus, Side 2, Parchment Farm by Mose Allison, Second Time Around, and All Night Long. This is Lee Stevens, guitar, Dick Peterson, bass and vocals, Paul Whaley, drums. Yeah, it's awful, but it was like this came out the same year as Electric Ladyland, and it was groundbreaking in that it's actually the first grunge record. I mean, it's grunge. It is like this huge, stomping, mindless beast of a thing, like a troll that lives under a bridge in Norway or something, and it's walking around, you know, with a sore foot, with a thorn in its foot. That's what it is. It's not an easy listen at all. Yes, it's inept. But the enthusiasm is there. So this is so important. It's all about the enthusiasm. So we have two albums from '68. One which is a masterpiece in its own way, and one which is, let's just say, an iconic legend for different reasons. It's got virtually nothing to do with the ham-fisted music on this, but in some ways it's a precursor to Black Sabbath. I'm sure Black Sabbath heard this. They must have. It's like Black Sabbath with no brains or sense of humour or anything. So I'm not recommending you buy it if you get my gist. I'm just saying it's still an important album for that reason. So there we have it.